Well, hello there, Shelley here with Shelley Can Help. And my mission is to help people like you get in your kitchens and spend a little bit more time cooking some healthier recipes. I believe our health starts in the kitchen. It does not start in the doctor's office. But I also want to show you that eating healthy can still be delicious. And today's recipe is no exception. We are going to make an almond butter chocolate chip muffin, and they are gluten and dairy free, but don't let that steer you away because these are yummy. The great thing is they're wonderful if you freeze them. You can have these for breakfast or a snack. They're kid friendly, and let's get started. Typically we'll start with dry ingredients, but today we're gonna start with our wet ingredients. So we are gonna use some regular old almond butter. The key to picking your almond butter is to make sure it has no added ingredients. So often these companies that make these nut butters will add unneeded oils to the nut butter. So with almond butter, you really want to make sure it doesn't have added things like palm oil or canola oil or added sugars. You just want almonds in your almond butter. And now we're going to add our sweetener, which is maple syrup. You can get the recipe in the comments of this video. Maple syrup is very good for us actually, and it's a really good alternative sweetener for coffees and desserts and things like oatmeal. Maple syrup has health benefits, it has antioxidants, and it helps regulate blood sugar, believe it or not. Now, you don't want to go and drink the whole jug, but maple syrup does have health benefits. You also want to make sure when you buy it, the label says pure 100% maple syrup with no added junk in it. Now we're just going to give these a mix. Almond butter and the maple syrup mixed together. And then once it gets mixed together, then we're going to add our non-dairy milk. Today I am using cashew milk, but you can use any non-dairy milk you want. If you have almond milk on hand, that will work just fine. Coconut milk will work just fine. But today what I had in my fridge was cashew milk, so that's what we're going to use today. Okay, protein in the cashew milk, protein in the almond butter. We need that protein. You don't have to just get protein from meat. And I am not telling you to be a vegetarian or a vegan, but it's really good to try to get your protein from other sources other than just meat alone. Okay, those are good and mixed. So now we are gonna add our dry ingredients. We have oats, quick oats. Oats have fiber. I talk about fiber a lot. We really don't get enough fiber in our diets. The American diet is so full of overly processed foods that strip all the fiber out of it that it's important to get our fiber back in our diet from natural sources. If you can get it from food, that is the best way. And now we're going to add oat flour. Instead of white flour, we're going to use oat flour today, which makes it gluten-free. I like to cook with oat flour, and that's just more protein. More fiber. Okay. Yummy to the tummy. Now we're going to add our baking powder and sea salt. When you're using salt, try to get sea salt because sea salt has nutritional benefits. You know, that sea salt that you get from the sea, it was able to rub up against seaweed and rub up against the fish, and so it has minerals and nutrients that table salt, white table salt, does not have. So try and get your sea salt. I would stop buying the white table salt altogether. Okay, next up we're going to add some cinnamon. We're going to add quite a bit, so I'm going to take the top off of this. We're going to add, probably a couple of teaspoons. There we go. Cinnamon is anti-inflammatory. Did you know that there are foods that actually help reduce the inflammation in our body? Not only should we try to avoid foods that cause inflammation, but if we can introduce foods into our diet that reduce the inflammation, that is like a win-win. Lower the inflammation by cutting back on bad foods, upping the anti-inflammatory foods. It's like a perfect storm of living an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Okay, our very last ingredient that we're going to add today are dark chocolate chips. When you're buying your chocolate chips, get dark chocolate. And you want to make sure that it says over 65% cacao. Anything over 65%, you are just packing in those antioxidants and minerals and nutrients. So we are gonna do about in between a third of a cup and half a cup. I think my recipe says a third, but I generally do a little bit more. Dark chocolate is really good for us. And if it has cacao versus cocoa, you're gonna actually even get more minerals and nutrients from the cacao. Cacao is raw and cocoa is roasted. So you're gonna lose some of the nutrients during the roasting process. Okay. Now, I'm gonna fill a silicone muffin tin. It's not a tin, I guess, if it's silicone. I'm gonna fill up this silicone muffin container with all of this, and we're gonna stick these in the oven for about 14 to 15 to 16 minutes, and we will have some delicious muffins. I will be right back. I wanted to tell you before I stick these in the oven that if you're going to use a silicone mat, you want to make sure that you have a metal cookie sheet underneath it. These muffins need that heat from the metal to cook the muffins all the way through. So I'm going to stick this in the oven and I will see you in a few minutes. Oh my goodness. You are not going to believe how delicious these are. You will not believe that they're gluten-free. You will not believe that they're dairy-free, and they don't have any white refined sugar in them. They are still warm from the oven, and they are almost falling apart. Check it out. Look at that ooey gooey chocolate goodness. Thank you for watching. You have got to try this recipe. You can get the full recipe in the comments of this video. And do me a favor, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week of ways to eat healthier while you're working from home and cooking more at home. And if you want to learn more about me, head to my website, shelleycanhelp.com. And I'm Shelley Can Help on all social media platforms. And I have a new Pinterest page I would love for you to follow. So go check out my pins, follow me on Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and now YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an incredible day. And when you cook something healthy, I want you to think of me. And I have one question before I go. What is on your fork? Bye for now.